Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to try to squeeze this in before the sunlight fades out. I've been fighting a pretty nasty cold. Knocked me out for about 2 days. I can usually work through all my colds, but this one has been nasty. Severe aches, severe fevers for hours upon hours. Just feels like it's never going to end. But I think I'm over the worst of it now. I'm back to the land of the living. Start running a few errands. Took a couple days off work. And I'm just so bored. Not working and not going to the gym. It's like, what do you do with all your time? There's just so much of it. But I just want to share with you guys a new somewhat issue that's come up. I don't really know what's causing it. I think it's a software issue. But when I start the car and I get in it and I go to busy section of town and I go to set my seat position, it doesn't seem to use the right one. I don't really know where the hell it's putting it, but I would say probably 3 out of 4 times it moves me like 70% of the distance forward I would normally go. So I could just barely reach the pedals, but the seat's sitting right down against the floor. So as I'm sure you can imagine, the window height is about here, and I can't see a whole lot of anything. So then I have to hold the eject button, put the seat all the way into the back position, and then start it up again. Hold the one and it will reposition me back into place. Now that did not work today. Even after I put it into the eject position, it put me right back into the unknown position, and it wasn't even position 2, because I thought maybe my keys got switched or something and it was putting me into position 2, because I do have it set, but position 2 is something totally different again. I don't know. Okay, so I don't usually honk at anybody, but that guy was just being an absolute flake. I don't want to pick on Toyota drivers, but where I live, it seems like everybody drives a Toyota or a Honda. Just scanning through parking lots, it's unbelievable how many Toyotas and Hondas there are, and they just seem to be awful drivers. I don't know what it is. I'm not even trying to pick on them, it's just habit. And Volkswagen drivers too, and Mercedes people just thinking they own the road, making lane changes through turn lanes to go around a car. Like, it's just the things you see, and you see certain brands doing it on a regular basis, whether it's the same driver or not. It doesn't really matter. It just sets that impression in your mind. So anyways, I don't know what's going on with the car. I hope to get some feedback from you guys. Have you guys had that happen at all? Because it just started one day, probably 3 weeks ago, and it's just been doing it ever since. It's almost like it just has a default setting that is totally different than what it's supposed to be going to. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know if there's maybe a service thing where they can set it so it doesn't crush you into the wheel, but I don't know. So the car has been booked in for the speaker getting changed in the passenger side door. It is quite annoying to drive around with a blown speaker. Like, it's exceptionally annoying. It just buzzes all the time. You get a good song on, turn the volume up to half volume, and I never go past half volume. Half volume is like the perfect volume. I've got the bass turned up, the treble turned down, and it just seems to be the right level of music, that it's nice and audible, but it's not blowing your eardrums out at the same time, because that's not listening to music, that's just blowing your eardrums out. So I'm pretty excited to get that done. That'll be January the 4th. Got to drop the car off in the morning. I'm getting the shifter knob here changed because it's got a scratch and it had it when I picked it up. And then the car will get its first oil change as well. This car did come with a number of free oil changes, so I am going to most certainly take advantage of that as well, which will be pretty good. And then winter tires. I mean, I feel like I'm just getting impatient at this point, but they're going to be on like literally any day now. And that's exciting. I'm just waiting for them to get the actual tires in. The rims, and I'm going to drop a few hints. I ended up buying Camaro rims. They are take-off rims off 2012, 2013 Camaro. They are 18-inch rims, 245 wide. And I'm going to be strapping a set of rubber to that. So the car will still be pretty good looking. I'm pretty excited about it. From what I understand, the rims basically just are all the same on all the Camaros from 2010 up. The offsets have changed like an absolute minimal amount. Oh, it's getting hot as all heck in here. This car is so toasty warm in the winter. It's actually pretty amazing. Oh, I could almost open up the sunroof. And so I am going to have some authentic GM rims, which should fit no problem. I haven't test fit them, but the garage where I bought them from said that before I buy them or do any of that, they'll test fit them with no questions asked, which is excellent. And I'm buying those rims for about $300. Well, I am buying it for $300 cash, which is, to me, a pretty good deal. And then I'm going to slap a brand new set of rubber on them. I'm not exactly sure what tire is being put on them. I didn't set this up. I had my dad do a bit of this logistical stuff while I was at work, because I do work for my dad. So while I'm busy getting stuff done, he can handle some of this runaround stuff for me and dropping phone calls while he's doing paperwork and whatnot. So I told my dad I wanted Blizzaks, Bridgestone Blizzaks. I used them in my girlfriend's car, and they were whisper quiet to drive. Like, they were the same rolling noise as what these tires here are. And I was super, super impressed. So, to me, I was like, you know what? Blizzaks would be the way to go. There should be no questions asked. And when he talked to the guy at the tire shop, and this is a rim place. All they do is rims and tires. They specialize in European cars, BMWs, Audis, and that kind of stuff. But I guess they had these rims and tires kicking around, so I'm buying him cash and doing that. But he said the tires he's putting on are as good as the Blizzaks, but they're designed more for the high torque vehicles. And with the cost of the rims and the installation of the tires, it should be about $1,000. My target price was $1,000. I really, really wanted to get rims and tires for that margin. And then as I've been doing my research, it just seemed like it just was not going to happen. It did not matter how hard I tried, no matter where I went. The dealership just kept telling me it wasn't going to happen, it won't fit, you can't do that. And I know the offsets are kind of funky in that, but if the some dude over there is revving up his pickup truck, which is odd. If the Buick Regal rims would fit, then this guy's driving like an absolute maniac. I'd get some distance between me and him, but I got a minivan there, and that minivan ain't doing a whole lot of anything. Oh, this truck is a knob knocker. That is a good example of bad driving. To sporadically drive your vehicle. I almost feel like that could be a stolen truck? Question mark. I don't know, I've never really seen anybody just drive that sporadically, and I'm assuming when you steal a vehicle, you don't necessarily drive it like a sane human being. But I mean, I've never stolen a car, so I don't exactly know. I would not be the foremost expert on vehicle stealing. So, back to the winter tires, hitting the mark. I am so confused. He just gave me the peace sign. I do not understand that at all. Maybe he was trying to say hello in his own weird way. That is odd. At any rate, if it is just a viewer or somebody that knows me, say hello in the comments below. And I think I'm just going to wrap the video up there. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I got some errands to run. As always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching the video. If you do like it, please hit the like button. YouTube has changed their algorithms, and if you guys don't like the videos, then it doesn't necessarily send it to the subscribers. So hitting that like button helps me out tremendously, and it lets me know that you guys are liking it. Sometimes my videos are just ranty, but sometimes I just need to rant. And I appreciate you guys watching. There's lots more to come. I'm very excited about the winter tires, as I'm sure you can tell. My enthusiasm might not be coming across with the Darth Vader voice here, but you know, just lots more to come. Take care, guys.